Don't try to sneak into your room like that. I know what you've got behind your back. Records. More new records.
So today, the goal was to show you the operation of Pro-Ject's new $500 VSC record cleaning machine. And this is it right here. It's VCS actually, I'm dyslexic. But after I unpacked it this morning, I found that it was the European model for 240 volts, so I can't really demonstrate it to you, but I will do that as soon as they send the right one. And the instructions are in German and difficult to follow. But I want to show it to you anyway because it's kind of cool. So what they've done is they've eliminated the platter, which I think is a good idea. One of the big problems with a machine that has a platter is I watch people use these machines, and that includes the VPIs, and they'll take a dirty record and they'll put it down on the platter. Then they'll go to this great length to clean that record. Then they turn it over and take the clean side and put it right down on a dirty platter, which makes no sense. So if you have that kind of machine, please get yourself a second mat and put the mat on the platter first, clean the clean side, clean the one side, then remove the mat that you've put on the platter and put the clean side down on a clean platter. Don't put a clean record down on a dirty platter. But in this case, they've actually gotten rid of the platter. So the way this works, it's kind of like a cross between my telephone ringing in the middle of doing a video. Hold on, let's see, let's all do this together. Why, it's Bob Graham from Graham Engineering. Hello, Bob. Hi, Bob. I'm in the middle of shooting a video on how to clean records. Yes, that's why I said, oh, it's Bob Grimm. I said, what are you bothering me for? God damn it, Bob. No. Okay, listen, the camera's rolling and we're going to run out of film. So let me call you back as soon as I finish, okay? I will. Okay, goodbye. I want to leave that in because this is what my life is like. Okay, so this is like a cross between a VPI type machine, any of the suction machines, the clear audio matrix, etc., and the nitty gritty, which also did not have a platter. So the way this works is you have this disc, and the disc goes down on here. You have to unscrew a screw, I can see that, and put this on and screw it in. And then there's an interface that goes, you put between the record and the machine, and then you clamp it down, make believe there's a record in there, and then you turn it on. You have this thing here, and you put this on. You know, it's got the velvet lips, which you must keep clean, and you put this on here, and you put the fluid on and turn the vacuum on, and I'm going to show you how that works when I get one that'll work on 120 volts. But it looks like, and the accessories include this this brush, and you get some of their fluid, their watch it fluid, and for $500 it looks like a pretty solidly built machine. And I was going to even test with an SPL meter to see how noisy it was, and we'll do that as soon as I can get the right machine. But in the meantime, I want to show you some other cleaning possibilities. So, you know, about 20 years ago, maybe even longer, the Orbitrack, which is this device right here, that was one of the really good cleaning, hand cleaning type devices. And you can change the cloth, and you'd put this on the spindle and turn it around. And even if you had a vacuum machine, it was good to use this first because, you know, the velvet lips that are on there, you don't want to get them really filthy. So you have a really filthy record that you want to clean. You really don't want to put it on any of these machines and pollute these lips. So the best thing to do is to pre-clean it with a device like this, and then you can easily change the pad after it gets really dirty, and you're pre-cleaning the record and then cleaning it on this. And that's what I would recommend doing. So they stopped making this, and then sometime in the past, they came out with the Orbitrack 2, and this is the Allsup Orbitrack 2. And I'm going to show you that because this is kind of vintage now, assuming I can get it open. Can't get it. Okay, there we go. So the Orbitrack 2 system was a simplified device that came with these cartridges, and you would insert the cartridge, use it, and when the cartridge went bad, you would replace it with another cartridge. Easier than this, which requires you to take a ring off. It's kind of a pain. So this went out of print about 10 or I don't remember exactly when, but 10 or 15 years ago it went out of print. And I started a campaign to bring back the Orbitrek. And I told the people at Allsup that vinyl was going to make a big comeback and they should bring back the Orbitrek. And they said, no. But anyway, they just came back with the Orbitrek 3. And the Orbitrek 3 is essentially the same as the Orbitrek 2. And I've got it here someplace. And when I find it, because I can't find it, I will show it in another video. But it's essentially the same as this. And it's another really good way to pre-clean your records before you clean them on a vacuum machine with lips, okay? Then another thing I was sent to look at, and I'm going to show you. Remember the disc washer, which is probably still in business somewhere or another, or somebody bought the rights to it. So this is another, it's a disc washer-like device called the Groove Washer. And the guy that invented this, you can see it looks very similar to, for those of you who know what a disc washer is, it's very similar, and you can also easily change out the cartridges of this, and it's got a fluid, and it's got a nice wooden executive style thing, and this is Groove Washer, and he also gives you some fluid. Again, I don't know what these fluids are or what they're made out of. I've got very specific needs for fluid. You get a spare one of these things, and there are instructions in here, and you get stickers. So that's Groove Washer, the ultimate cleaning sound solution. So that's another way of pre-cleaning your records. These kinds of devices are fine in a pinch if that's all you can do. If you can't afford any kind of really good cleaning machine, then these are good ways to go. All right, but since we can't show you this in operation, I'm going to show you this. This is called Vinyl Vac. And this is designed to be used in conjunction with your wet vac machine. Never use this with a regular paper bag kind of vacuum cleaner. If you've got a shop vac, that's what you want to use this with. And we're going to bring a shop vac in here and show you how this works in a minute. All right, we're going to show you now how to use the Vinyl Vac. So this is the Vinyl Vac. It's $30. I mean, this has got to be the least expensive vacuum system that you can buy, assuming that you have a shop vac. You need a shop vac. And assuming it's got a relatively small nozzle like this, okay? If you don't have a shop vac, I guess a shop vac is about $100, I guess. And then you're adding this for $30, it's less of a deal for you. The other thing that's you have to really be careful with is stressing the bearing of your turntable. I'm not comfortable with putting a lot of pressure on your platter, on your bearing, and so I recommend either building a Lazy Susan of some kind or going to a garage sale or a thrift shop and buying the cheapest turntable you can find, $10, $20. I have an Ion here that someone gave me that I'll bequeath to somebody, but right now that's what I'm going to use. I would not use this on my good turntable because you can torque the bearing. I don't think it's worth it. The guy that makes the Vinyl Vac may disagree, but I don't think you should. So the Vinyl Vac is this tube here that's got a slit in it, and it's got velvet lips. And there are inserts you can put in here to change the amount of vacuum that is seen by the lips. So I've got a modest amount of suction now. I put one of these things in here. I'll show it to you. That's it. You can take it out completely and get a lot of suction, or put this one in, and there's also one more in addition to this. So it's your choice. And I haven't tried this thing yet, so I don't really know. Oh, I just dropped it. Okay, we'll edit this. Where did it go? Okay, we're back. I found the insert. So it's not, yeah, it's okay. Now the first thing you do is put a little, they give you an O-ring, you put it on the end here to make sure you get a good connection here. if your shop vac has the large sized hose, you're out of luck. But this one should work fine. Now, what fluid do you use? So I brought two fluids here to show you. There's so many different fluids. This is the Mint LP solution from Hong Kong. This is non-alcoholic, and I understand why you wouldn't want to use alcohol. Some people think it's okay. Once you get it off the record, it doesn't matter. Alcohol dries out the plasticizers in the vinyl. So if you're going to use alcohol, make sure to get all the alcohol, all the fluid off the record. And you might want to do a second vacuuming with just plain distilled or reverse osmosis water if you just want to be safe. But we're going to use the Mint. I also have, this is TM7XH. This bottle is from 1982. And this chemical, that's used in here, is not, it doesn't age, it doesn't date, so this is still good. And this is being manufactured. This was invented by a chemist named Toichi Kawa, and it was considered to be the best fluid you could buy in the 80s. And I still think it's one of the best. And it is available once again. So it's TM7XH. They may have changed the name to TM8. But you can find it online, and I recommend it. It's a big bottle, so I'm not going to use it just for the purposes of this. I'm going to use the Mint. And so start with your dirty surface on the platter and put your dirty record on the platter. And, you know, the way I'm doing this, holding this in my hand and everything, is obviously it's not going to be, it'll be less than, don't get mad at me for not doing it extremely carefully, okay? Because I'm doing this for the sake of this video and in a space that's not conducive to me doing a lot of stuff, okay? So don't do it this way at home, all right? You know that. Don't write nasty notes. The nasty notes under these videos, some of them are, you know, the ones that really interest me. I'm doing a video about music. I'm doing a video about cleaning records, and there are guys posting things about anal sex. I'm going to say, because that's what's on the videos. Fluids not involved in record cleaning. That's what's on their minds. And then they accuse me of that, and it's on their minds. But anyway, so I put the record on here. I just banged it against this. You saw that. Too bad. Deal with the fact that I'm doing this as a demo, okay? They give you a felt piece to go around the spindle. Put the record on there. I'm going to use a brush like this. It's also good on your teeth. And we're going to spin this by hand. All right, I'm not going to do this. So I'm going to put this down actually for this particular minute. You might want to have a better applicator. I'm just doing this for the sake of the demo, okay? And then we're going to spin it. We're going to spin it by hand and make sure we get a good amount of fluid on there. This is another reason not to do it on your turntable. You may be a little bit more careful than I am in the real world as opposed to the video world. Still, I don't like applying torque to the bearing, and I really don't like having liquids in contact with your turntable. It's not a good idea. So make a Lazy Susan or get a cheap turntable. Okay? Okay. Now, and you might want to have a place to put your brush so it doesn't get soiled. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on here. There's a hole there, conveniently, for this. I'm going to turn on the vacuum. Let's see how loud it gets. Not too bad. You got to try to apply the pressure evenly. And based on this, I think what I would do is take the little piece out, because it's not really sucking it up as I would like. There's a skill set involved in this, because you have to hold the pressure just at the right amount. It's starting to dry. But you know what? I'm going to stop and I'm going to take the little insert out because I think I need the full pressure. definitely, if you're going to get one of these, start with a record you really don't care about, so you can experiment till you really get the hang of this. So 1 second. This was the insert. I don't think we need it. Okay, let's do it again. Much better. Okay, and let's see what we got. We have, it's a clean record. Now, sometimes in these videos people say, play the record, let us hear it. I'm not going to play the record and let you hear it. Okay, there's too much work involved in that. I got to go and record it and then put the file up, and I'm not going to do that for this. My pay scale's not high enough for that. It looks very clean. The other side is still dirty, has fingerprints on it. So I didn't pick a filthy record. I picked a relatively dirty record. So the fluid was on it. This dried it. So, this is pretty good. Assuming you have a Lazy Susan or a cheap turntable you can use, don't use a regular turntable. That's for $30 and you want to vacuum a record, this is probably it. It's not the most convenient thing, and it's kind of kludgy, but it works. And he actually gives you extra velvet lips when these get clogged up. And what you should do after cleaning a bunch of records is clean this. Get like a little nylon brush, not the brush you use to clean the records. Get another nylon brush and clean the schmutz off of this, because it'll get schmutzy after a while. All right, so that is the vinyl vac, and I'm surprised that Ron Popeil didn't think of it, but he didn't. Some other guy thought of it. It's $30. I've seen it on Amazon, and that's it. Okay, so now we're going to do something completely different, something new that I've not tried before. And we're going to use the record No Secrets by Carly Simon. And I found a copy in my garage sale records that I bought at garage sales, full of fingerprints. And it'll be a good test of this particular cleaning technique. So this record, the engineering and mastering on this record has an amazing pedigree. So it was recorded at Trident Studios in London, famous Trident Studios in '72, by Robin Jeffrey Cable, late Robin Jeffrey Cable, one of the great recording engineers. It was mixed by Bill Schnee, another person that anybody who knows anything about great sound during that golden era knows who it is. And it was cut by Doug Sachs, the late Doug Sachs, at the Mastering Lab. This copy does not have a Doug Sachs Mastering Lab stamp on it, so I think it's probably a later pressing, and it looks like it's got a 6 on it. So, but whatever, that's not even relevant to this, I'm just spouting. This record is full of fingerprints, and the way we're going to clean this one is using this is just something new from Pro-Ject. This is called Vinyl Clean Record and Stylus Cleaner. It's a patented formula. It's got a dry cleaning effect, and I'm going to follow the directions, and we're going to open it together. You expect like this giant spring thing and springs pop out, but so it's sealed. My hands are clean. Clean your hands. I know that. Clean your hands. Wash your hands before you use this. And we're going to remove the foil, which of course didn't come off. Like this stuff, none of this stuff ever comes off. What's going to happen now is, since I couldn't get it off when it's supposed to come off, I'm going to now try to push my finger into it, and my finger is going to have a handful of goo. Oh, that's going to give some of these haters online such a great, great place to enter into the conversation. Oh, now they're saying use scissors. Okay, I'll use a razor blade. Wait a second. I just happen to have a razor blade here. And if this doesn't go well, I can slit my wrist with it. Oh, I didn't say that. I can't say that because don't try that at home, okay? Now, this is like Zachary, like what Zachary would have in a bowl, and he would, my dear, my wife, Isabel. Let's see, just, ew. Son of flubber. Okay, now, it really feels disgusting. I'm doing this for you. And the smell? Oh, wow, man, I'm at Woodstock. Oh, cool. Okay, let's see. Ingredients. Radioactive plutonium. Okay, so what do? What you do is you actually... Oh... You do this. You flatten it on the record. That's what you do. I don't know. I don't know about this. What do you say, Carly? No secrets? Let's see. I think I'm using it correctly. I'm not wearing my right glasses. I can't really read carefully enough to see. Yeah, that's what they're showing. They're showing you just put it in there and just roll it around. And then you're saying, well, okay, all the dirt's on this now, and what do you do with this? You can actually wash this thing. Not in the washing machine, but you can wash it. Okay, I've done it a couple of times. Let's see what's happened to the fingerprints. That's a joke. All right, let's see what we got. It didn't remove. This is not for removing fingerprints. Okay, so we learned something. This is like for dust. It's not for fingerprints. So I could find a dusty record and clean it. But, okay, let's do that. If I can find a dusty record, this has to be cleaned with a machine-type machine. Let me see if I can find a dusty record over here. Harry Chapin. Let's see if Harry Chapin is dusty or filthy. Not a good record to choose. At any rate, I'm just showing you this. I think if you have a record that's just clean, it's a clean record. Let's say it's a record that's dusty. I bet you new records. New records come from pressing plants that are not clean rooms. They're kind of dusty. People get a record out of a jacket, a brand new record out of a jacket, and they go, this record's dirty. Why is it dirty? It's dirty because a pressing plant is kind of a dirty place, actually. It's dusty. And then they pack it, and it's stacked up. So let's take a new record. Here's a record. It's called Gaudi Magnetic from Rare Noise. Haven't played it. I like the Rare Noise label. They did that Jamie Saft record with Iggy Pop. This is another thing that I really hate. Don't you hate this? Don't do this at home. I watched Trevor do a video, and he tore the shrink wrap off with his teeth. That's the way it goes. This is what I would do if you weren't here. So why wouldn't I do it when you are here? I got nothing to hide. Okay. Let's see what we got. This has got to be fun, this hobby. This cannot be like too serious. I'm serious about setting up a turntable. Oh, well, it's a you're not going to see nothing on that record. All right. You know what? I think we're going to be done with this particular part of this operation. I think this looks like a pretty interesting material which you can wash. You can also clean your stylus with it. You can put the mound by your turntable and lower the stylus into it very carefully, like the Unzawat thing. And I think on a dusty new record, this would be a very good thing. It would probably work and apparently you can see it doesn't leave a residue, and I would say it doesn't leave a residue. Apparently a lot of money went into this, into designing this. And I'll write about this later. I'll use it under other circumstances, and I'll write about it and see how well it does. And then I'll play a record and see if it gums up the stylus on a $10,000 cartridge. And, you know, I don't think it will, though. Okay, on to the next record cleaning technique. So this is a company called Vinyl Style, and this is their fluid and brush, the basic fluid and brush, inexpensive, probably $10 or $15 at the most, which is the bare minimum kind of thing, like the other things we showed you. But here's an interesting thing that they've developed. This is called the Vinyl Style Vintage Solutions for a Modern Era. That's their name of their company. Imagine all of this stuff, everything you're seeing here was packed inside of this. And there's more. This looks familiar because it's similar to another company's product, but it's quite ingenious. So they give you a drying rack, which I'm going to put there. And then this is the vat. It's got a pair of brushes inside. And you pour the fluid that they supply right here into the vat, which we're going to do. Okay, let's hope it doesn't leak out the bottom. I don't think it will. I'm pouring it all in there because I think that's what they want you to do. Now, here's what's interesting. So they give you this double O-ring contraption here to protect the label area. And you can clean 45s on here too. They give you an adapter for 45s, but we're going to clean an LP right now with this device. And again, you'll have more room hopefully to do this than I have here. So let's pick a record. I trust this machine, so I'm going to use a good record. This is a fantastic John Lewis record called The Wonderful World of Jazz, which I have never seen before. This is done by Pure Pleasure. It's one of their better records lately. It's got good people. Anyway, I'll review this later, but I've never seen it. I'm a big John Lewis fan. I've never seen this record until I got this pressing of it. So you put this on one side, and you put this on the other. Carefully tighten it up. Now you've got O-rings on both sides, so there's no way that water's ever going to get on the label, which is really cool. You put it in here. There are scrubbing brushes inside, and they're saying give it 5 revolutions. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're done. And then you lift it out. It's a very wet record, obviously. And then you have a drying rack. So very carefully, again, this is a skill set you have to learn. You know, the first time you do it, you're not going to know exactly how it's going to work for you. And this record is very well saturated, so they obviously have a surfactant. There's a surfactant on this fluid to make it drip. And drip it will, okay? And then you put it in the rack. I assume that's how it goes. If it goes any other way, I won't know how it goes. Yes, my dear. My dear, I just dropped the rack. And I want to leave this on camera because, you know, I'm doing this on this little table. You're going to do it on a better table. And you will put the record in there like that and let it dry. And maybe by the time we're done with our video shoot for today, this will be dry and I can show you what it looks like. But for now, I'm going to very carefully put it over here. Okay, and now you're saying to yourself, I don't want to clean any more records. I've got a vat full of fluid here. What do I do with this? Well, this is what's really cool. What they have done is they have supplied this here funnel, and they have supplied this here Don't do that at home. This here, filter paper, and I guess you use it all at once. Well, they give you a couple, but you'd probably want to get more than one and find out what this is. And you put this in here, and now when you're done, I'm going to attempt to pour the fluid into this bottle. And it could get really messy. And if it does, so what? We'll deal with it. Okay, let's see what happens. It got really messy. It didn't work out so well for me. It did not work out so well for me. Okay, because I'm kind of a klutz. Let's see how it does now. It didn't work out so well for me. Don't do this at home. It looked a lot better on the video. No, this is no good. This is just, okay, there it goes. Again, what I'm saying to you is practice this at home before you make a video and show it to people. I don't care, okay? That's what I'm telling you. I don't care that you're seeing all of this. That's what happened the first time I tried it. So what I'm saying to you is if you buy this product, try plain water first. Go through this operation somehow with a different bottle. Get it down so you have it down before you do this. But if you're careful, I can see that you can get all the fluid back into the bottle. You get the genie back into the bottle to use for another day. Okay? Oh, this is going to give my enemies and haters so much ammunition. And you know what? I don't care. Okay? So this is the vinyl style manual record cleaner, and I think it's a really good product. Thank you. All right, we're back after a short break, allowing enough time for this record to dry. And, you know, even though I was having fun with that and there were some problems with the water spilling out, I am very serious about cleaning records. And I've waited for this record to dry. It definitely was very well cleaned, but it left a residue of like a milky colored residue. Not so much on the groove area, but on the inner groove area, and actually between tracks. For some reason, whatever this residue is, it's more attracted to flat surfaces rather than grooved surfaces. But I don't like seeing that. So now I'm going to have to give this a serious cleaning on my audio desk cavitation machine. So I have mixed feelings about this particular device. It's ingeniously designed. It works very well for what it costs, but the washing fluid, I'm not convinced is so great. I think they have to rework the formula to. It definitely doesn't leave watermarks, which is good, but it's definitely left a residue that you can kind of wipe it off if you want, but I don't want to wipe it off. I'm gonna put this in the good machine and restore it to how it was before I put it in this machine. Okay, we'll be right back. So I've taken this record that had the film on it from the other machine, and I've cleaned it on the cavitation machine. And the groove area is spotless, as cavitation does. I mean, cavitation is, to me, is the best way to clean records. But the cavitation doesn't get to the very inner groove area that the other machine did. So there's a slight residue that I'm going to have to remove by hand. But I made that sacrifice on your behalf so you could see what happens. So that ends our segment on record cleaning. There's another one up on the website on using the revirginizer, which is that sticky stuff that you put in there. And we showed the audio desk, which I used just now to clean this. And there's more to come. There's always new ways to clean records. And when they come along, we will show them to you. And whichever methodology you prefer, feel free to use. I just got an email from a reader who said he has one of the audio desk cavitation machines, and he finds that the Clear Audio Matrix, which is I think it's a $6,000 vacuum type machine that cleans both sides at the same time and kind of does the hula in the grooves while it's going. He says he thinks that's better than the audio desk. I don't know. I've got to get one of those and try it. But for now, I still think the cavitation is the best way to do it. Thanks for watching.
Use the force, Luke. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is CNN. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. Today we're going to cook flan. Flan is a famous dish among, I think, People from South America like flan.